Ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, why is that bright red dot called Mars? Or why does a giant one have the name Jupiter? It might seem like random names, but the real story behind them is surprisingly cool. For thousands of years, people noticed five strange stars. They didn't stay fixed like the others, they slowly wandered across the sky. And those wanderers eventually became what we now call planets. Today, we're going to explore how humans first discovered them and how they got their famous names, from Mercury all the way to Neptune. Thousands of years ago, long before telescopes, people in ancient Babylon and Greece would watch the night sky on every clear night. Most stars stayed fixed in the same patterns, night after night. But five bright lights behaved differently. They slowly moved across the sky, sometimes changing speed, and sometimes even looping backward. The Greeks noticed this and called them planets, which means wanderers. That's where the word planet comes from. These wanderers didn't twinkle like normal stars. They looked steady, bright, and calm, and over weeks and months you could clearly see them shifting position against the background of fixed stars. Ancient sky watchers kept careful records of these movements, often for farming seasons, calendars, or religious reasons. That's how they knew these weren't ordinary stars. They were something different, moving along their own paths. Those five wanderers were Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. The Romans gave them names based on their gods, and those names stuck because early scientists wrote in Latin. Mercury moves the fastest across the sky, so it was named after the swift messenger god. Venus is the brightest object after the moon, and it shines beautifully, so it was named after the goddess of love. Mars has a reddish color, almost like blood, so it was named after the god of war. Jupiter is the largest and one of the brightest, so it became the king of the gods. Saturn moves very slowly, so it was named after the god of time and agriculture. Earth is a bit different. Its name doesn't come from a Roman god. Instead, it comes from an old word that simply means ground or soil. For a long time, people believed these were all the planets that existed. But then, everything changed. In the 1600s, telescopes were invented, and in 1781, William Herschel was observing the sky from his backyard in England using a telescope he had built himself. He noticed a faint, blurry object. At first, he thought it was a comet, but as he continued tracking it, he realized something incredible. This was a new planet, the first one discovered since ancient times. It was later named Uranus, after the Greek god of the sky, keeping the same mythological family as the father of Saturn. Uranus is faint and moves very slowly, which is why it went unnoticed for so long. Years later, scientists noticed something unusual. Uranus wasn't moving exactly as expected, it was slightly off. Something unseen seemed to be pulling it. Two mathematicians studied the problem and worked out the calculations on paper. Based on their math, they predicted where another planet should exist. In 1846, astronomers pointed a telescope to that exact location, and almost immediately, Neptune was found. It became the first planet ever discovered using mathematics instead of direct observation. It was named after the Roman god of the sea because of its deep blue color. This was a huge breakthrough. It showed that the laws of gravity apply across the entire solar system. Then, in 1930, an astronomer named Clyde Tombaugh discovered a tiny moving dot in telescope images taken in Arizona. A new world had been found. They asked the public for name suggestions. And an 11-year-old girl from Britain, Venetia Burney, suggested the name Pluto, the god of the dark underworld. Far away, cold, and mysterious, the name fit perfectly. For many years, Pluto was known as the ninth planet, but in 2006, that changed. Scientists redefined what counts as a planet. And because Pluto shares its region with other objects, it was reclassified as a dwarf planet. Even today, people still debate that decision. From ancient wanderers carefully observed night after night, to new planets discovered with telescopes and even predicted using mathematics, this is how humans discovered the planets and gave them their names. Next time, we can explore what these planets are actually made of, why some are rocky like Earth and others are massive balls of gas. So, what surprised you the most? The ancient sky watchers or the planet discovered using math? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the next one. Thanks for watching, and keep looking up at the night sky.